Hello and welcome to Jeremy's Yorkshire Allotment Adventures on what is a very special day. Yes, another special day, because today is the 21st of June 2023. Now, what's that mean, I hear you cry? Well, it has a lot to do with the sun, who's just decided to go in behind some clouds. It's been really sunny here, and well, today is the summer solstice. So it means it is the longest day of the year with the shortest night. It's as simple as that. We're closer to the sun than we've ever been before. And well, on that note, the sun arrives. Isn't that exciting? Ah, well, Sol means sun, by the way. And this is magnificent. Aren't I a lucky father? This is what I got for Father's Day. A beautiful, lovely white, which means I can't lose it. My other one's green. I search all over for it. And it's absolutely fantastic. It's got a beautiful copper head and it pours really delicately, and that's what I need. However, it's massive. Sit back, relax, put your feet up. I hope you've got a cuppa. I'm about to have one. And well, enjoy today's show. Well, it's been an incredible few days here on the allotment, and it's funny getting a watering can for Father's Day, because before then it had been scorchingly hot and the ground was really dry, and I'm having to water and water and water and not getting too much effect actually, unless you water for hours on end. However, in the on Sunday we were down on the allotment, and suddenly the heavens opened and we had a proper thunderstorm, and we were stuck under the shelter down here for about half an hour or so. But within the first 10 minutes, in fact might have been even less, one of my water butts was almost empty, and it was completely full within 10 minutes, I'd say. The amount of water. In fact, here's a little video. I don't know whether it actually captures it. But we were definitely in the eye of the storm. Funny, isn't it? I don't really know about counting down. When you hear when you see lightning, and then you count, and then you hear the thunder, and that's supposed to give you the distance that the storm is away from you, or the centre of the storm. And we've done that a few times. It was like 6 miles away, 4 miles away, and suddenly there's the most amazing thunderclap, and it was right above us, absolutely on top of us, seconds, unbelievable. And I say yes, but the ground really needed it. It had become really dry and really hard. But now, having had we had about an hour's worth of rain in that thunderstorm, and it just kept going and going and going. And then we had a little bit more overnight, and the ground now really is a little over wet, but that means the roots can go really deep down. Spectacular, absolutely spectacular. And yes, today is the summer solstice in the northern hemisphere of the world. What a strange thing to say, the northern hemisphere of the world. And whether you celebrate the sun or not, it's a really good day, the longest day. And well, look, I have a little strawberry with me, and under here is magnificent. Every single day I come to the allotment now, I'm pulling off strawberries, bunches and bunches of strawberries. However, I'm not going to talk about the strawberries, because I do in this next section that was filmed before the storms. I've been around the garden this morning, and I've been up very early, and I've been watering, of course, and I've been picking strawberries. And well, because I'm still battling the wood lice, and there we are. Look, a little strawberry. We've got around about, oh, that many in here. Quite a lot today, probably about 30 or so. So that's nice, isn't it? And they do taste absolutely delicious. They smell fantastic. Now, what? Such a surprise this morning. I was doing some watering, and here I have my beautiful raspberry bush, and it's coming along. There's raspberries coming along. We had the photographs last time. And as I was watering, I noticed down here at the base 6 or 7 little raspberries coming, and they're really ripe. So I've plucked them off. And the thing with fresh raspberries, you have to be very, very careful, because they are very, very delicate things. And well, Again, they smell delicious. Apparently, I was told, now whether this is true or not, that every little blip on a raspberry, so every little bubble, is where the bees have come along to pollinate the flowers. So every little one of these little blips on here, I've had a little bee come and try and pollinate, which is rather magnificent. I don't know if it's true or not, but wouldn't it be lovely if it was? Absolutely incredible. So put those to one side. Well, before I do actually, as I say, I'm in problems with wood lice at the moment with some of my strawberries. I've had to have 2 sacrificial strawberries in the hope to draw them away from the other ones here. And I wish I'd have got something that was invented by a chap called Sir Joseph Paxton. Now, Sir Joseph Paxton was a phenomenal gardener. He was the youngest head gardener at Chatsworth House in the early 1800s. And incredible. He lied about his age. He said he was older than he was. And he met the Duke, actually. The Duke had a residence in London, and he met him. And Paxton then, as a young boy, was working for it wasn't called the Royal Horticultural Society then, but it was the Horticultural Society. I can't say it. Very interesting. And rumour has it is that Paxton was coming through a door and the Duke was going through the other way, and they bumped into each other and rode down a little embankment, and that's where their friendship started. Paxton was very direct with the Duke because the Duke was a little deaf, but they got on tremendously well. And within about 6 months, the Duke had offered him to become the head gardener at Chatsworth House in Derbyshire. And Chatsworth House then had a massive, huge, of course, these estates had to be self-supporting, walled garden. Now, these days, the walled garden, I believe, is a caravan park, which is a little bit of a shame, but times move on. And these things, they still have a little bit of a walled garden. It's actually in the grounds now at Chatsworth House, and they do loads of veg and fruit and flowers. It's just incredible, their vegetable plot. It's absolutely beautiful. If you ever get a chance to go, magnificent place. Anyway, Sir Joseph Paxton. He was a pioneer of everything. He was such a talented man. In fact, Charles Dickens once called him the busiest man in England. Paxton had a newspaper. He brought railways to Derbyshire. He built the largest greenhouse at the time at Chatsworth House. It was called the Stove. It was huge. It had underground boilers because at the time, the trend, the fad, was to bring plants from abroad. It was a really exciting time. Before that, there'd not been much colour in people's gardens. They're very green, all grass lawns, ornamental trees, all those things are very green. But then the Victorians found colour. And Paxton was one of the pioneers, and so was the 6th Duke of Devonshire. And he had men sent all over the world, to Americas, to Canada, to India. A chap called John Gibson went to Calcutta and brought loads of plants back. And that was the trend. Rather than build mausoleums and all those things to have your name emblazoned for the rest of time, it was finding the one plant that would make your name. And Joseph Paxton was part of that. Isn't it magnificent? Anyway, not talking about that really. I'm talking about strawberries. Why am I whittering on about strawberries? Well, Joseph Paxton, amongst his many other things, had time to design a strawberry crinoline. And it was a little frame, a bit like a crinoline dress, the frame to the dress. I think that's what must have given him the idea. And you put it around your strawberries as they're growing, and they would grow onto the frame, so keeping them off the ground, stopping them getting wet and damp, and obviously stopping them being eaten by pests. I should have had some of my strawberries to keep the pests away. What a fantastic thing. In fact, here is a photograph of the said thing, and here we go. And I don't think they're very much to buy either. I think they're about something like a penny in old money. I said very, very old money in the Victorian times, the 1820s and 30s. Just tremendous idea. So thank you to Sir Joseph Paxton. Paxton loved glass and the way the light reflected through glass. Before Paxton started, I'm whittering on, I should stop. One more fact. Before Paxton became interested in glass and light, greenhouses, and you can buy them flat pack, believe it or not, had very thin panes of glass. and it was mainly wood, so you get really big chunky bits of wood with a bit of glass. And Paxton found a way with a glassmaker in Smethwick in Birmingham to make massive panes of glass. In fact, for his great conservatory for the stove in Chatsworth House, his panes of glass were 4 feet long by a foot wide, and they're up to 30,000 panes of glass. That's how big it was, 30,000 panes. And basically what they did is they made a like circular piece of glass, and they cut it and it unfolded, and that's how they could get bigger and bigger panes of glass. Just fantastic. Come on, Sir Joseph Paxton, let's keep your spirit alive in the gardening world. Thank you for your crinoline. I might try and make some for next year. How brilliant. Anyway, I should stop rambling on. Another project I've been on the allotment is something that we can all do at home. My roses here, I've had these in the sun yesterday, and they're drying out very, very nicely. I'm drying them out because I'm going to put them in a bag, and our rabbit can have these then over time. It's brilliant. She loves a bit of old wouldn't believe it, roses. Absolutely fantastic. Oh, my poor roses, battered and bruised from the storms. There's petals everywhere. I'll pick them up. In fact, the petals I was drying are completely full of water now. But I'll have better to pick the new ones here. It's a shame, but that's what happens when you get so much water. Anyway, once again, thank you very much for watching Jeremy's Yorkshire Allotment Adventures. I'm savouring my little strawberry, and yeah, I'm going to go off and have it now with a lovely cup of tea. As I say, thank you for watching. Thank you for your comments. Have a great summer solstice day, the longest day of the year, 2023. Ta-ra for now.